Is your laptop running a bit slow? Maybe you're running out of storage space. Maybe you're curious about upgrading your laptop's GPU. Well, this right here, this is how to upgrade a laptop. Alright, let's start off with the most common and probably the cheapest way to help make your laptop run a bit better. Random access memory, aka RAM, aka memory, aka the stuff that you actually can't download. First off, we should find out if your laptop can even handle more RAM. There are a bunch of online memory configurators or finders that you can use. Most of them will ask for the brand, the type of device you're buying RAM for, and the model number. Once you input those details, it will be able to tell you how much RAM your device can handle, what type of RAM you should be buying, and some will even tell you what storage options that you have. We'll have some links in the description to some of those memory finders. Once you've settled on the RAM that you want, next thing to do is install it. Now, just a quick reminder that all notebooks are different, so this guide isn't a definitive how-to. It's more of like, hey, this is how you do things and whatnot. So, flip your notebook upside down. Now make sure the machine is turned off, and if possible, remove the battery as well. Grab a screwdriver and pop open the panel that covers the memory. Now this will vary from laptop to laptop, like I mentioned. Once the memory modules have been located, make sure you ground yourself before touching anything on the inside of the notebook. Next, push the clips that hold the RAM away from the module, and the RAM should pop up by itself at an angle. Gently pull the module away from the slot, all the while not touching any of the connectors at the bottom. Take the new RAM and insert it at an angle and press down. The clips should pop into place, and voila! You've successfully installed your RAM. Now, if it turns out that your device has already maxed out on memory, well then just forget what I said and move on to the next portion of this upgrade guide. Changing the old hard drive to something like an SSD will definitely breathe a lot more life into your laptop. Now this will be somewhat similar to the RAM installation, where you locate the panel and remove the hard drive and then put the hard drive back in. The only difference being that you just need to line up the SATA and power connectors and slide the drive in. Again, this installation experience is different from laptop to laptop, so take your time when installing. If you do get stuck, refer to the manual that came with your laptop. If that's not available, head over to the manufacturer's website for some support. One thing to note here is that some older laptops use drives that are 9mm thick. Most SSDs these days are 7.5mm thick. Now don't worry, most SSDs will come with a plastic spacer so that you can install your drive and it won't be wobbling around in the chassis. Take this ADATA SU800 for example. It comes with a spacer if you need one. Now some of you with newer and fancier laptops might have an M.2 slot for M.2 type SSDs. Installation for this type of SSD is more similar to the RAM installation, where you insert the module in at an angle and then you depress the stick down and then you tighten up the screw. Finally, we move on to the GPU. And to be honest, most notebooks have their GPUs soldered onto the motherboard, so you can't actually upgrade a GPU on a notebook. Now, it is rare, but there are some laptops that offer upgradability for GPUs with the Mobile PCI Express Module Initiative, or MXM. But the chances are that you don't have one of these types of laptops. So, what kind of options are you left with if you really want to upgrade the GPU? Well, recently, a handful of manufacturers like Razer, MSI, Asus, and Alienware have all come out with external GPU enclosures. The basic idea here is that you have an enclosure for a desktop GPU and you connect it to your notebook via Thunderbolt 3. However, there are some requirements. First, you'll need a notebook with Thunderbolt 3, and compatibility for these enclosures will vary from vendor to vendor. Next, obviously, you'll need the enclosure itself, but they don't come with the GPU, so you'll need a GPU as well. Now, the enclosures by themselves cost around $250 to $700 Canadian, and a decent graphics card will roughly cost the same. What I'm trying to say is that it's going to be expensive to get more graphical horsepower for your current laptop, not to mention that the fact that having an external GPU enclosure attached to your notebook will make you less mobile. So, if you're willing to spend a bunch of money on one of these enclosures and the GPU, and are willing to be tethered to something, go for it. I'm just saying you might be better off selling off the notebook you currently have and just buying a better notebook with the specs and graphics that you want. So that just about wraps up this video on how to upgrade your laptop. In summary, small upgrades like RAM and storage will give your notebook a new lease on life. But if you're looking to upgrade the RAM, the hard drive, and the GPU, just go buy something that's better. Thank you so much for watching. Click over here for previous videos. Check us out on Twitter right over here. And as always, like the video if you liked it, comment down below for fans with benefits, and subscribe for more content like this from NCIX. We'll see you later.